It's Chanel Diane, and today I'm going to show you how I slayed, and I can say that because she looks good. I slayed this frontal. Showing how I installed it. Definitely want to let you know what I use. I use Ghost Bond in case I don't mention that in the video, and I use Ultra Hold Walker tape. So I use them both, and as you see, I have a couple other frontal videos. At this time, child, she laid. My sister asked me if I got a relaxer. My bestie was like, oh, I FaceTimed my bestie, and he was like, oh, you finally let your real hair out to play. I was like, no, baby, this is a frontal in real life. Check that out. She's cute. And then I also show how I curl my hair because a few of y'all have asked for a curling tutorial. I'm going to do one more curling tutorial to show a different way that I curl my hair. But this is called my mama's look, because back in the day when she was my age, this is how my mama used to have her hair, her natural hair. My mother's never worn weaves. She used to always do her hair big and beautiful like this. Her hair used to be this thick, and yeah, so this is for my mommy. I love her so much. I hope you guys like this tutorial. If you want to see any other tutorials, let me know. Also, I'm about to color my hair. So if you have an idea of what color I should color it, please comment down below, and I'll do a tutorial on how I color my hair. I love you guys. I hope you love the tutorial. It's a long one, child. It's long. I'm sorry, but I had to cram a whole bunch of information in there and not leave anything out. But I hope you guys love it. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Prior to this clip, I went ahead and sewed in the back of my wefts, and then I also molded the front and put a stocking cap on. Now I am using Ghost Bond, and I am going to apply my first layer to make sure that my frontal is secure. Make sure that you try to keep it on your scalp and or the actual stocking cap. This wig cap I've used several times, which is why it looks like that, but it's doing the job. Now I'm just taking a wood stick and I am smoothing it out. When you're using adhesive, you want to make sure to apply thin layers so it can dry, especially white glue, like Ghost Bond, so it can dry clear, because if there's any white left, you will see it. So make sure that you do your part and just make sure to apply it correctly. And I'm going to apply 2 layers of the Ghost Bond when it dries. And in the next clip, you'll actually see me applying a clear glue, which I'm using Walker Tape Ultra Hold, and I'm just using 1 coat or 1 layer, thin layer of that as well. So now I'm just adding the clear glue again. So I added 2 layers of the Ghost Bond, 1 layer of the Walker Tape Ultra Hold. You want to only add this 3rd layer of the Walker Tape once the Ghost Bond is completely dry. So make sure that you do that. That step is very important. And then you're going to let it dry for about 3 minutes, and then you're going to apply your lace, which you'll see in the next clip. So I cut the lace off camera, and what you want to do is just place it in the position that you want it to be. Don't worry about smoothing it out. What I did prior to this step is I used a hot comb and I hot combed the frontal to get all the hairs out of the way. You want to use like a little spritz or something like that to completely get out of the way. And you just want to slowly place the lace where you want it to be. I do this prior to sewing down the back, only to make sure that I have the front exactly where I want it to be. This is a 13x6 frontal. Just to let you know, there can be a little bit of bunching, so just be mindful of that, and take your time when applying it. You really don't want to put your fingers on top of the glue or the lace where the glue is. If you do have to do that, you want to lightly pat it. Don't try to like do circular motions and move anything in. Just lightly pat so it can be in place. Um, and finally, I'm using what you're supposed to use, which is a comb. I always have like a rat tail comb handy just in case. I need to pat anything down to get everything in place. It's better to use a comb as opposed to your fingers, because child, if that glue has not glued all the way and you touch it, it's going to end up turning white and it's going to look ridiculous and it's just going to be a mess. Once you place the lace down, if you realize, hey, I have some extra spots that didn't adhere to the glue, just add a little bit more, let it dry. I keep the wood sticks on hand at all times just to make sure that I have something that I could easily apply more glue. And by doing this, I get a seamless application, no lifting, all of that stuff. If you do have to add more glue, make sure that you get it in position, you let it dry. If you need to cut any extra, cut it off. And then make sure that you wrap your hair. You are definitely, if you have a frontal, you're going to need a silk or satin scarf. There is no way around that. If you're sitting at home, wrap your hair. If you're going to sleep, wrap your hair. If you're going to the gym, definitely make sure you wrap your hair so you can get longevity with the frontals. Typically, every 2 to 3 weeks, you're going to have to do a maintenance and like remove the frontal, reapply the glue, clean off the frontal, all of that stuff. It'll be much easier and you'll get a longer staying power if you actually take care of your lace. You take care of your lace by wrapping your hair. And what that does is when you're using adhesive, our body chemistry and the humidity and the elements, whatever, and the weather can cause lifting for our glue. So if we wrap it and secure it, it helps melt that lace back into our scalp, and it makes it look more natural. So this is the next morning, and I'm just showing the flexibility with a 13x6 frontal. You can pretty much part it anywhere. Now I do have to do some tweaks. I'm realizing that it's lifting in certain places, so I decided to cut it. Also because it was just too far out, like it was really, really close to my eyebrows, in my opinion. So I just need to get that together, honey. So I'm just cutting a little bit of extra lace. And where I feel like I need to glue lace, I will. And at this point, I'm just tidying up everything. Like I said, add more glue if I need it. If you add more glue, make sure you wait until it turns white. And then make sure you clean up any extra glue with 99 or 91% alcohol, just to make sure that your area is clean. And I'm noticing on my flaps that I didn't secure that, so I'm going to add some extra glue there. And I'm just showing how I'm like tidying up everything to make sure everything is seamless. And I'm a perfectionist, so I still see lace and I still see like the hairline. So I'm just gonna make sure that I go in and I glue everything down, so when I wrap my hair this time, it's perfect. So I'm just looking for any imperfections just to make sure that I get it exactly how I want it to look. So what I did now is I unwrapped my hair and now I am molding it. So as you see, after wrapping it again, it has melted into my skin even more, and I literally wrapped it for like an hour, if not longer. And now I'm molding it with foam to get my part exactly how I want it to be. Now, child, be careful with this. I used that hot comb on hot, and I definitely burnt a hole in my frontal, but because it's a 13 by 6, you can't even see it. So I already took off my scarf and I am going to style my hair now. I use a foam in order to set it. So now I'm just going to kind of comb that out. So this is like a no baby hairs type of install. I don't like all the baby hairs. Now when it starts to get bad, I probably will end up covering it with baby hairs. But for now, I didn't want all of it. You can part it anyway, so if I wanted to do it this way, I could. I would just have to set it so it can stay. If I wanted to like zigzag, I could put some up, some down, all that jazz. So that is the flexibility that you get when you're dealing with a frontal. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go through quickly and show how I curl it, because I get a lot of questions about that. And then we'll be done. So I will be right back. I'm probably gonna do the back off camera, curl it, and then I'll show the front because that's really the part that matters. So I'll be right back. But I'm gonna do it nonetheless. So first things first, Silk Elements Mega Silk Heat Protectant. It's the olive oil one. Spray that on. Cool beans. I didn't follow up with the Mazzani Thermal Smooth. Don't ask me why I use all these heat protectants. Child, I don't know. It's just a habit, I guess. So I typically start with this first curl because that's like the main thing you're gonna see. And I'm just gonna add a couple layers. I pin curl my hair because it stays better. If you ever went to cosmetology school, they tell you to over direct if, you know, depending on how you want it. I typically just stick it straight out. Take the curling iron. This is a Conair. And I try to curl it as close to the base of my install or close to my scalp as I possibly can. Since I have on a frontal, you do not want to place this hot ass curling iron on your frontal because you'll end up creating a hole. And then you keep it exactly how it is and just put a pin in it and you set it. And I do the same thing all the way down. And I try to create as many curls as I can. Sometimes I do them in like different directions. But since I'm just gonna like pull it out of my face, I'm gonna do all the curls in the same direction. I think I'm catching a cold, geez. I like pin curls because no matter what size barrel of iron you have, if you mold the curl or shape the curl while it's still hot, you can get whatever type of curl you want. For the front, this is like the main thing. Sometimes, depending on how I want my hair to fall, I'll curl it differently. Sometimes I will curl it and do sections like this, and I'll pull it to the front and I'll curl it this way. So when I brush it out, it falls like that. But I don't necessarily want it defined this time. So I am going to curl my hair this way. So when I undo my curl, it'll have a whole bunch of body and volume. And it'll look amazeballs. So instead of curling it that way, you'll see, I'm going to curl it this way. So it'll give me some volume. I may have to recurl this. I have a feeling I'm going to have to recurl this. Then I'm taking another piece. Typically I layer my hair before I do any of this, but I didn't take the time to layer it, so. So I figured y'all know how to curl, so you really didn't need me do step by step, but you get to see exactly what I did to achieve these curls. But yeah, the biggest thing is just make sure to curl it, pin it, let it sit, go on to the next curl. The direction of your curls do matter and how you want it to fall. That's why I really just focus on how the front looks. But for the most part, even if the curl might be curled in the wrong direction, you can always go back in and like mold it to be exactly how you want it to be. So you'll see in some of my commentary when I take the curls down, I kind of decided to mold it how I want it to be. This is like my signature curl. This is how I curl my hair all the time. It's what I like because it reminds me of my mother. She has like naturally really, really jet black, dark hair that was super full growing up. And it was long as well. And she used to always style her hair like this. So I love my mommy. So I kind of jacked her style. But yeah, if you like this, I'll probably do another tutorial kind of showing a different way to curl the hair, more of like the Farrah Fawcett Kim K curls, because I know a lot of people like that style as well. But I hope you learned a lot. And I'm going to do a FAQ. I said this before. I'm going to do an FAQ for frontals, give you some tips and tricks when applying soon. But just enjoy this tutorial for now. I love you guys. And, well, I guess this isn't the end of the video, so we'll say our goodbyes in a second. And some people spray it like with hairspray before they take it down. I don't, because I still like my hair to be bouncy and whatnot. And then I kind of mold my curls how I want them to look. So I'll spray at the end if I feel like it's necessary. I look, OMG, when I was a kid, I used to get the roller sets. That's how I look right now. No, it's a frontal. It's a frontal. Okay, so I'm gonna keep my razor close, but I'm probably gonna need this. I'm gonna switch from the rat tail comb to this white comb. You're gonna need that. Camera, see that? See, I pulled this one to the front. Actually, this is a style. If you wanted to, you know when y'all were kids and it was like Easter and your mama wanted your curls to last. Oh, no, y'all tried it. Oh, they tried it. And your mama wanted your curls to last, so she left it like this for a couple of days. My mama's hair really used to look like this. It was like down here, beautiful. Anywho, so sometimes I just use like my hand. Oh, yeah, it's smart to use your hands because you can catch when you still have some pins in there. Sometimes I use my hands and just take it like that. And again, like the last thing I touch is the front. And then I'm probably going to use, there we go, Schwarzkopf. And if your hair gets like a little oily or whatever, you can spray that on there and it just kind of sucks up the oil. I feel like there's a little right there too. So you can mold your curls to be how you want it to be. If you want it like more in your face, you can do that. If you want it bigger, you can actually use like volume up hairspray, and you would just spray it like right there, and that gives you more volume. Like just like that. I kind of want this to stay, so I'm just set that like that. Again, you want more volume. So I don't necessarily spray my curls. I more so spray underneath so I can have the volume that I want. I did record a tutorial on my frontal. Alrighty. So this is the finished look. Ooh, that smells so good. Ooh. This smells like candy. Brilliant Shine. And yeah, this is it. Hope you guys like it and enjoy the tutorial. Nope, this is not Brazilian straight.